Okay, so we're talking about 3D figures in volume. The thing that you've been focusing on is volume. I'm going to go over both. I just want to make sure that nothing is too crazy, all right? So we talked about where bases are and the distance between them is going to be the height of the prism. And we also talked about right angles. Where they sit is going to be the height of a two-dimensional figure, which is a base, which is capital B. All the yellows are capital B. Yellows are capital B. And remember that we're always defining the pyramid, the prism, by the shape of its base. The shape of its base is going to be where the other parallel side of it is. In example right here, here's a side that's parallel to this one. With prisms, you can choose, with rectangular prisms, you can choose any parallel sides to be the bases. With triangular prisms, it helps narrow it down because you have to use the triangles as the bases. So just know that whenever you're using capital B, you're substituting an area formula in for that. Know that pyramids and cones are going to be 1/3 the volume of their counterpart, which is a prism or a cylinder. So these are the same thing. So this is a, think of this as a rectangular prism. And this is your pyramid. And I know that that's not what these are called. This is a cylinder. But I'm talking about the relationship of the formulas in cone. These are going to be divided by 3. The volume is approximately 1/3 of that of its counterpart, where it's derived from. So this is just going to be your area of the base times height. And we'd use the area of a circle and then the distance between the circles, which would be the height of the cylinder, very similar to the parallel sides, which are our bases on prisms or triangular prisms or whatever prism you want, and then finding the area of the base, multiplying it by the height. And that'd be pi r squared times the height of the cylinder. Same exact thing for a pyramid, except you'd be divided by 3. So let's take a look at this. Surface area, I just want to make sure that what you're doing is finding the area of each shape. Now, it's not impossible to do. I just want to make sure that whenever you're doing this, you understand that you can take the pieces apart. So I'm gonna focus on volume on this one. We'll have a longer discussion on surface area for this one. But 4, so we have to have volume equals area of the base times height. What am I doing? Oh my gosh, I'm writing down a formula. And what's going to go here for our base is going to be the area of a triangle. Base times height divided by 2 times the height of the triangular prism. 4 times 4 times the height of the prism from the distance of one base to the other. I always like to just go like this and highlight my bases. That way I can always make sure I'm identifying the height. 8. 4 times 4 is 16 divided by 2. So 8 times 8. We should get a volume of about 64 cubic inches. So what I would advise you to do on the next couple is please make an attempt at these before and hit spacebar to pause the video and then try and work it out and then compare. Volume for another triangular prism. So again, I'm going to write the formula. Area of the base times the height. This is going to be our base times height divided by 2. Since we're trying to find the area of the base, which is a triangle. And then the height of the prism. Base of the triangle is 7. Height of the triangle is 5 divided by 2 times the height, which is the distance between our parallel bases, which is 13. 7 times 5 is 35 divided by 2 is going to be 17 and a half, pretty sure, right? Let's just go ahead and check. 35 divided by 2, 17.5. Just want to make sure. And 17.5 times 13 will give us our volume. Times 13, 227.5. Cubic millimeters. Plain and simple, very straightforward. Volume equals area of the base times height. I'm going to be highlighting the bottom part and the top. That way I can identify my height as being 8. Area of the base can be length times width, which is going to be, this was the old formula on formula charts when I was in school, length times width times height. Volume equals 14 times 7 times the height, which is going to be 8. Let's find out. 14 times 7 times 8. 14 times 7 times 8. 14 times 7 times 8. 784. 784 cubic centimeters. Nothing crazy. I'm going to jump ahead to a pyramid. So I want to go ahead and point out that 11 is a slant height. The reason it's a slant height is because it's not the height of the pyramid, it's the height of a triangle, and you have 4 of those. And you know you have 4 of the exact same triangles because you have a square base. Squares are all the same on every side, so it's 3 by 3, and there's a 3 over here and a 3 over here. So if you wanted to find surface area of this, you would find the area of one triangle, which would be 3 by 11 base times height divided by 2, and then you'd multiply it by 4 because there's 4 of them. Or you could just add it up, that plus that plus that plus that, plus the area of the base, which is 9. Okay? So to find the volume is going to be the same exact thing with our little trick divided by 3. So volume equals side squared, which is the formula for the area of a square, times the height of the prism, or the pyramid, and then divide it by 3. So volume is going to be 9 times approximately 10.9. I went ahead and found the height of the pyramid using Pythagorean theorem so we could actually work this problem out. So, don't forget divide by 3. 9 times 10.9. 98.1. Okay, divided by 3. It's going to be about 32.7. So we got a volume of approximately 32.7 cubed. Yeah. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. I'm going to use the same dimensions on this cylinder and cone. Let's go ahead and say this radius is 5, this radius is 5, the height is 10, the height is 10. Okay? What I'm going to do is show you the same exact figure and how it's approximately 1/3. So, volume equals area of the base times the height. Area of the base in this one is going to be pi r squared times the height of the cylinder. So V equals 3.14 times 5 squared times 10. Pi r squared times the height. Okay, so that's 3.14 times 25 times 10. And I can still use some mental math on this. So V equals 3.14 times 250. That'll be easier to type it in. 25 times 10. So 3.14 times 250. 785. So we have a volume of 785 cubic units. Here is how to do the cone. It's going to look the exact same except with our little tip. Okay, so V equals pi r squared times the height divided by 3. And you're going to see that we're right back to where we were over here, just adding a divided by 3. That's why it's so easy to find if you have a cylinder and a cone next to it, all you do is end up dividing this answer by 3. So 3.14 times 5 squared times 10. That'll give you what we had before, 3.14 times 250, which is 785 divided by 3. Because the volume is going to be 1/3 of that. So divided by 3, and that is 261.6 cubic units. That is the only difference in finding volume between a cylinder and a cone versus a prism and a pyramid.